Yasu guys, Nico here, and in this video we're going to be making the Greek Christmas cookies, Kourabiedes. So the first thing that we want to do is grab ourselves our slithered almonds. So as you can see, I've bought mine already slithered. I've got 200 grams here, but I just now need to toast them. So over a low heat, I've got a pan and I'm just going to put some olive oil in here. I want to coat the bottom a little bit just because I'm using stainless steel. I don't want these almonds to stick. So I'm going to put all the slithered almonds in there. And we want to do this relatively quickly. We don't want them to burn. We just want to toast them gently and stir it continuously. Give it a light shake, move it all around, let them dance a little bit, then pop it back on the heat. You just want to make sure that you're continuously moving it. It's been probably 1.5 minutes, and I'll just show you what it looks like. So that's the kind of consistency you want. You know, obviously some are darker than the others, but at the end of the day, it's pretty much lightly toasted. And I'm just gonna take them out of the pan. So just remove them, pop them into a bowl, and we wanna let them cool down. And that's it. The next thing we need is 500 grams of unsalted butter. So I've got this here, and I've already let this come to room temperature. It's important that you let this come to a softer texture. Just leave it outside the fridge for a bit, and we're gonna pop all of this into our mixing bowl. Now go ahead and grab 200 grams of icing sugar, and we're gonna pop this inside here with our butter. So I've attached the bowl to the mixer. We're gonna pop this down and we're gonna pop this onto a low speed. Now we wanna start low because as you can see, it does shoot your Christmas dust everywhere. So you wanna be careful. As it mixes and combines, we're gonna gradually increase the speed and we're gonna get this to a nice white and creamy consistency. Now don't forget to turn it off midway through the mix. And what you wanna do is grab a spatula or something. You want to be able to really make sure that you get all the unbeaten butter. You want it to all be white and creamy like what's sitting up here above. So just mix it through by hand a little bit. Put this down again, put it back to a high speed, and that should do it after another minute or so. So after a couple minutes, that's done. That's what it looks like. It's a nice fluffy white consistency. It's thick and it's all blended perfectly well. So I'm going to take this mixer off. And I'm just going to whack it all so it comes inside this bowl. I'm going to go ahead now and add this attachment here. So I'm going to pop this onto the machine. I'm not going to mix just yet, but we're going to get ready to pop the next ingredients inside. So the first thing that we're going to do is add in 60 mils of ouzo. Okay, so this is how my Yiayia does it. And I'll just follow the recipe exactly. If you don't want to use any alcohol, you can use orange blossom water or rose water. But we love these flavors. The next thing, we're going to add in 60 mils of cognac. We'll pop that inside. And now we're going to pop inside 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So just tip this in as well. Beautiful. And lastly, before we start beating again, we're going to add in 2 whole eggs. So go ahead and flop these in. Beautiful. Pop down the mixer and carefully put it onto a low speed. And allow this to combine through properly. So what I've got here now is 800 grams of self-raising flour, okay? We're gonna start to add this into the mix. So I'll pop this back on to a low speed and we're gonna add half of the flour in now. So I'm just using a cup and I'm gonna slowly add it in, bit by bit. And I'm doing it slowly because I don't wanna have big clumps in there. So keep going. So now that we've got half our flour inside, we're going to grab our toasted almonds and we're going to add this inside here. So just pop it all in. Now turn the mixer back on. We've still got it on a slow speed and we're going to continue to add the rest of our flour inside. Again, slowly, just keep popping it inside until you've gone through pretty much all of it. Alright, now let's turn this off and I'm going to show you what it looks like. So that's the inside of my bowl. As you can see, the bowl's clean. All the dough stuck as one big clump in the middle. So I'm gonna pop this to the side. I'm gonna move the mixer. I'm gonna quickly clean our workspace and get the dough on the table. So let's just pop this down. And this is the kind of texture that we're looking for. Okay, so it's still quite soft, it's still quite moist, but it's pretty much holding its shape all together. And if I remove a clump or if I remove a ball and ball it up, it holds its shape, but it doesn't stick to my hands. Now, if yours doesn't have this consistency and it's a little bit more runny, you just need to add a little bit more flour. I've used 800 grams, but all flour is a little bit different. So just go add a little bit more and keep mixing until it comes to this kind of consistency. So the next thing we do is we're gonna start shaping our dough, dividing this into 3 parts. Now it doesn't matter if it's not exact, it's just so we can create some lines. Because what we're doing is we just keep squashing it down with our hands, narrowing it together until you get a nice even line that you're happy with. And we're going with a traditional half moon shape on a Kourabiedes. Now I know there's a lot of different other shapes that people use, but that's just something that our family's always done and we think it looks quite nice. So we'll just continue with that. So the tool that I'm going to be using to get these shapes how we like it is this round cookie cutter. Press this in and we're going to disregard this one here. Just pop this in there. Next, you want to go halfway through, press it down and pull towards yourself. And that is the shape that we're going for. So this is what ours is going to look like. The half moon shape with a 1 inch thickness. We're going to work our way all the way through the dough and then move on to the next 2 lines. We'll just place them onto a sheet of baking paper and continue going. So now that I've worked my way through the first line here, I'm going to grab all this unused dough and just add it to another one. And basically just do it again, rinse and repeat. Very easy. Just push it all in so it mixes well. Now start the shaping process again. And don't worry too much about this dough here because at the end of the day, the cookie cutter is doing all the work. If the lines aren't consistent, it does not matter. The only thing you want to try to keep consistent is the thickness. That way they all look similar at the end. So again, I'll grab my cutter, disregard the first one. Now you don't have to, you could do balls as well if you like, but we want to keep ours all the same. So we just add it to the next dough. Now there's one tray done, 15 cookies Kourabiedes on one tray. We're gonna continue working through the dough, and now I'm gonna preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius, set to fan. And while we're waiting for the oven to heat up, we'll just continue shaping the rest of the biscuits. And with the last one, we're just gonna form with our fingers a half moon with the remainder of the dough, and pop it onto the baking tray with the rest of them. All right, so we've done shaping all our Kourabiedes. I've got a total of 47 here, and with a bit of maneuvering, we've managed to fit them onto 2 trays nicely. So now what we're gonna do is pop them into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes. Now, obviously we need this cooked, but we don't want them too dark, just slightly golden brown. So make sure, just open the oven up, take a peek, and once they're the required color, just pull them out. So I'll see you in about 20 minutes. We'll pop these in the oven and we'll check back in. All right, so we've taken them out the oven. It was just 20 minutes on the dot. These smell wild. Let me tell you, it smells like Christmas there. These are killer. As you can see, they've got the beautiful color that we were looking for. They're golden brown. They're cooked all the way through. And what we're gonna do now is bring them down to room temperature. So now I'm gonna take off my gloves and we're gonna start transferring these Kourabiedes onto the wire rack. Slowly, slowly, just place them over there. They should hold nicely if you've cooked them properly. And now we're just going to let them sit for a little. And that's it guys, the Kourabiedes have now cooled down and are at room temperature. They're ready to be placed in our icing sugar and coated. Now the reason that we wait until they come to room temperature is we don't want our icing sugar to melt onto the Kourabiedes. We want to maintain that traditional dusty icing look. So I'm going to take 2-3 Kourabiedes, pop them inside my bowl here. And then, just with my hands, gently sprinkle them over the top and then just roll them around. Make sure you coat everything nice and evenly. And then, there we go. Place it onto your dish. And that's it guys, up to the final step of this Kourabiedes before we try one. What I've got here is a sieve filled with icing sugar, and we're going to give it a light sprinkle over the top just to give it that little bit extra. So, I'll just gently tap this right around. Have a look at that. If you rocked up to somebody's house with ears, they would be buzzing. Right, that's done. Pop this down. We'll give it a try. So, come take a look at this. Now have a look at that. That is beautiful. That's glamour. Let's break this up. Oh, so soft, moist, buttery, beautiful. Pop this here. We'll give it a try. That's Christmas. That's beautiful. It's cooked perfectly. It's fluffy, it's light, it's aromatic, coated full of sugar. It's beautiful. Guys, if you give these biscuits a try, let me know in the comments or DM me on Instagram. It's so easy, so simple. If I can do it, you guys can do it. Hope you have a great Christmas. Galaktisturina.